Hey y'all, thanks for checking out Euclid Mining. So today we're talking about an article that's been causing a lot of panic out there. A lot of miners are really nervous, and I've seen other articles written about this article. I've seen YouTubers do videos about this article, but I've never seen anybody really try to put out this fire and really explain it in depth or any better than just saying panic now.
Are you telling us absolutely everything?
Not exactly.
So let's go ahead and let's talk about the article. And this article, you probably have seen it, it's by Bitpro. And in this article, all they talk about is the doom and gloom and how you are screwed. In the end, you will not be able to make any money. Mining right now is pointless and you should just give up. And I'll be honest with you, after I read this article, I sat here for a minute, almost a solid minute, and just started looking around, started looking at the miners behind me, started looking at the ones I have out here, the equipment that I have, and started really working out some numbers because I was even nervous. But I started doing a little more research on this, and I think they're full of poo. And I'm going to show you why. First, let's talk about the article. Let's just go down through it briefly. I'm not going to waste your time and redo this. You've probably either read this article or, like I said, have read other articles that were written about this article, or even some YouTubers have made videos about this article. And I just want to say that the guy who wrote this article really needs to be in some high-level marketing firm, because this article is going to cause a lot of people a lot of panic, and I think it's completely unnecessary. I think that there should be pause for concern about the future, but the way that this guy breaks it down, I don't think that they're really doing justice. I think they are cherry picking the most horrible scenarios and just sort of expanding on them to make it seem like when they talk about the best case scenarios, but really they're not talking about the main changes that are going to happen. So let's get to that. But first, let's just look at the article really quickly. And in here, they're going to be working over on 3070s. Here we go right here. So a 6-rig RTX 3070 will put out about $8.60 on ETH and about $6.25 on Ethereum Classic. So the idea behind this article is saying that once everything changes, all of your profits are going to be gone, and it's going to be a complete waste of time to mine. I'm going to show you why that's wrong. So let's go ahead and just scroll down here. They give you a couple of charts. They throw out a bunch of numbers. A lot of these numbers are correct. And the bottom line is that, you know what? If you go by this person's numbers, doom and gloom is just around the corner. And unfortunately, a lot of his numbers are correct, but there is a flaw in his strategy for predicting or for coming up with the final verdict of what he feels the end is near. So everything he talks about in here is just how, if a certain amount of miners do go offline, how much money will be making. And he doesn't talk about one of the biggest case that you need to make when it comes to mining ending for Ethereum is ASICs. In this article, he mentions ASIC 3 times, and that has nothing to do with them coming off of the network as well. So when he talks about this going on and on and on, the base case, what he does here, let's see here, an oversimplified base case scenario, nothing changes between now and the merge. All crypto prices, total hash power, and block rewards stay the same. On the merge day, all GPUs will divert to other coins. 10 million GPUs are now left to split approximately $775,000. Average income per GPU, 7 cents, almost 8 cents. So he says, yes, you've read that correctly. So he's really trying to bring this all down and to convince you that the end is near. So the plausible best case scenario, let's assume that the prior merge, half of the GPUs shut off and suddenly the price of crypto doubles. Pre-merge, the average GPU is making about $9.44 a day. Awesome, enjoy it while it lasts, because the post-merge 5 million GPUs will be splitting the 1.549 million per day. The average GPU is now making 31 cents a day. After electricity, the average GPU is still effectively losing money. And that's the plausible best case scenario. Okay, that's his opinion. Drunk on hopium. Things are already tight and current rewards. So what needs to happen to maintain the $2.36 average? We need to see the price of crypto 6x at the same time for as for 80% of the GPUs to shut off. 2 million GPUs are then splitting 4.65 million a day. Average GPU is getting $2.32. Can you imagine a world where crypto goes 6x in the next few months and 80% of the miners shut off? I can't. This isn't happening. So he says, the plausible worst case scenario. Let's take a plausible worst case scenario that the pre-merge price drops another 25%. Despite that, only 25% of the miners shut off. Average income per GPU, 7 cents, just like our best case. The takeaway here is that not enough of the base was, the takeaway here is that even though the base cause was a contrived and oversimplified example, there are very realistic scenarios where the number still plays out. So again, he's just trying to back up his opinion with his own opinion, but trying to spin it as if somehow it's fact. And he goes on and on and on. This is minor. This means the dawn or the dusk or the early morning dawn, depending on how you want to read it. He says the minor twilight. Anyway, the bottom line is that he's telling you here that there's nowhere to go. So where do we go from here? Long-term picture for GPU mining, basically saying that there is no GPU mining future. Miners wouldn't be able to just mine something else near term. So again, yeah, and I agree with a lot of the things that he says. There are some points that he makes that are valid. First, he does talk about the mining calculators, and he says that these are the worst things in the world. And it's true. When we hop over to a mining calculator and we look at it and we say, okay, well, let's just say Ethereum goes offline. So let's just erase Ethereum off, right? And we go to 0. And then we calculate out and we see what we have left over. Oh, well, I'm still going to be getting $7 a day or $3.37 profit per day if I mine this, and that's not that bad. Whereas when you're reading this article, when he breaks it down, he's talking about when Ethereum goes away and everybody starts to move over, and now you have to take into account the difficulty of the network. And let's look over here for the difficulty chart. As you can see, it has just been slowly growing. Now remember that it was back in December when they first started shipping, right in here. So December 1st, if I can make it there, and whatever if I can't. Okay, there we go. So this is when ASICs were being shipped. The new Ethereum miners were being shipped. And as you can probably see that back here when they were in their testing phase, is probably back in here and then slowly moving up. Then they shipped. You can see another quick spike up right here, and then it dipped a little bit, and then it's been on the rise because now they're shipping more and more of these miners are out there. So this is really the cause of this huge jump is in the past year are going to be those ASICs that made it onto the market. Plus we have other ASICs that are out there right now, like the Jazz Miner and several models of that. So there's a lot of reasons why this jumped up. But the bottom line is that, with the calculators here, when you look at something and you say, okay, well, it's no big deal, we're just going to jump over to the next best thing. And let me go ahead and put that one back up there. Where'd mine go? There we are. So when you look at it and you say, okay, well, if Ethereum's not going to be there and I'm making $8.65, and by the way, I'm doing 3060 Ti's, the 8 rig, because that's what I have. And I see a lot of videos doing them with the 3070s and 3080s. I don't have any 3070s or 3080s, though I would like to build a 3070 and a 3080 rig. Unfortunately, I'm using 3060s and 3060 Ti's. I have the A4000 and a couple RX models. So I'm going with the 3060s just because that's what I'm using. So for argument's sake, $8.65 for that one rig. Those are the 3060 Ti's, and that's what it's making per day. This is what the reward take home would be right here. So you can see that you can jump down here and say, okay, well, it's making about $1.65 less, and it's making about $2.50 less over here. So you know what? Is that survivable? Yes, it's very survivable. Anybody can do decently. I mean, it's not a whole lot of money considering you have 8 3060 Ti's back there. And for this example, And no, making $3.37 a day is not a great income or rewards for your effort. So yes, I can see that. But the problem that we're going to run into here is that when everybody switches over, the difficulty for all of these networks is going to skyrocket, just like it did when the ASICs came on. Imagine all of these were GPUs that just all of a sudden changed algorithm and jumped onto this one, and it's going to shoot up. There is no question about that. All of these are going to change. The landscape of mining is going to change. We know this is going to change. But you really can't go by this, because when the difficulty rating starts piling up and more people are on the network and you're earning less rewards because of this, then you're going to want to jump and go off to another coin. I think it's going to be really crazy when that happens. People are going to be jumping around from day to day. There's going to be so much confusion as far as just it's going to be like herding cats. I mean, it's going to be insane. People are just going to be crossing. Some people are going to be on one coin, on the other coin. They're going to see this one rising, and they're going to be like, oh, let me jump to this one. And these people are going to be like, oh, this is rising. And they're just going to be swapping coins almost, because in the end, there's only going to be about 5 or 6 coins that are really going to be the coins that you're going to want to mine. Okay, definitely things that might be out there you're going to be mining. Obviously, Raven Coin, Ergo, Conflux, Zero. I'm not saying that Ryo won't, but not as popular. Classic. Now, Classic's going to get overloaded with all the ASICs that are going to come off the network. Fero's going to be one. Flux is in here somewhere. So there are several coins that you can mine, but nonetheless, when we come over to here, and he does talk about that I do agree with, that people just can't look at that and say, oh, no big deal, I'll just hop over onto this one. So that's one thing he does say that I agree with. A couple of the other things that he's talked about in here that just really don't jive is that when he starts breaking down his numbers, the one thing he's not talking about are the ASICs. And he's not doing anything. And if I just went up here just for the argument, just because in case I missed it, I was looking for it, I did a quick search on ASICs. And there are 3 instances in this entire article where he discusses ASICs. And here they are right here, which he describes nothing. He says some amount of the hash power is ETH ASICs, but given that they can mine ETC as well, and all other coins added up to practically nothing, we can no longer ignore the fact. Unfortunately, in this case, ASICs get a share of the lifeboat. He's saying that we're all on a sinking ship, and that we should all just, suck it up, because in the end, we're all going to have to get in the same lifeboat. Now, the truth is that, yes, a lot of ASICs are going to move over to Ethereum Classic with just a simple firmware upgrade. They will move over there. So, yeah, Ethereum Classic is going to become, in my opinion, almost unmineable from GPUs, because all of the ASICs are going to flood that market, and it's just going to go out of control. The profitability, of course, we could still mine it. It's just not going to be very profitable. It's like, saying that you can mine Bitcoin with one of those little USB miners, yeah, I guess you can. If you want to earn, I guess, like a penny a month, then yes, you can. So I won't say you can't, but I'm certainly going to say you're not going to be happy with the results. So Ethereum Classic, in my opinion, is dead as far as miners go, because too many ASICs are going to be on it, and it's probably not going to be worth it. It probably won't. There may be a point in the beginning where people will jump over and try to capture a small piece of that market, and then realize that the landscape is changing too quickly, and it's going to be over. Because if you think of the gigantic farms that are out there that are going to switch over instantly and have rows and rows and rows of what seem like football fields of shelves full of ASICs, are all going to switch over, and it's going to be insane. So Ethereum Classic, in my opinion, won't be the one to mine, but there are so many other ones out there. So the problem that he's running into right here, and why I feel that this entire article, based on some fact numbers, but a whole lot of speculation and strictly an opinion piece. This is opinion. There, he talks about the math is the math, and you can't, this is math, and math isn't pretty. This isn't mere speculation. this is speculation to a point because he's not including all of the facts that we need to include to come to these conclusions. And that conclusion that he comes to is wrong because he's not including ASICs. You have to knock off minimum 40% of the hash rate is going to be from Ethereum mining ASICs. So right off the bat, he's a minimum of 40% off on any of his numbers. In my opinion, I think it's probably a little bit higher, but even when I've read other articles and done my own research, Carter just had Bitsby Trippin just had a video out the other day, and he felt that 40% was a very realistic number. I think it's a little bit higher than that. When you look and see how many of these, and you do a little more research into it, you can see projections of what we're going to be sold and how many are out there. I think it's a little bit higher, but ultimately, let's just go with that 40% number. 40%. I mean, if you want to be, a little further and push it a little harder, and just for round numbers, say 50%. But even if we go low and we say 40%, so we know right off the bat he is wrong. So everything he talks about in here and your profitability and what's going to happen and this and that is all based on that ASICs are not the issue. That ASICs are not the issue, and that it's you and only GPUs that are out there, and you're the issue. So this goes on and on and on. So anyway, in the end, the bottom line for this entire article, okay, is to get down to the end and say, at this point, we are 100% focused on assisting miners in their exit from GPU mining. This article was written to sell you on the idea that you should sell and get out now. Now, the truth is that prices are going to dump. Prices are going to dump when people start really seeing where they are after the merge and how difficult it is going to be to mine. Yes, I think a lot of GPU miners are going to shut down. A lot of gamers that had their GPU running are going to say, to heck with this. I'm not going to bother. It's not worth the time to be jumping from coin to coin and really just losing money. They're going to lose that luster and it's just going to fall away. Earlier than when they were making $5 a day for basically doing nothing but, set it and forget it kind of a thing, they were no problem. But when they see that they're going to have to jump around, it's similar to me when I look at my Z11 and let's see, earlier today, my Zcash right here for 2 miners was profitable. Okay. Now I'm 66 cents in the hole. And the only thing that's really profitable is the marketplace. Not even Luxor is profitable. But that's the thing, is that, this morning I was profitable and it was, top of the chart. Yesterday or the day before, when I looked at it, it was mid chart, and it's going to change. So you're going to need to be jumping from coin to coin to keep up with this. A lot of multi algorithm pools. Excuse me, I had some ice cream and I've been burping hot fudge and sprinkles. I think a lot of those multi-algo pools are going to do well because they're going to be able to be mining what the best coin is, getting you the best rate. And the scariest part, let me tell you, the scariest part about this is that Nicehash is going to be leading the charge in this. And do your research on Nicehash before you jump into them. I wasn't with them when there were problems. There was a problem mildly recently that they had. There was another problem that happened about, I don't know, it was almost a year ago, maybe by now. I don't even remember exactly when there was a lot of money that was had gone missing. And I think that, from the stories I've heard and the ideas behind it, I really don't want to mine with Nicehash. And I'll tell you what, if I did, I know they charge you a little bit more if you have your money being pulled to a different wallet, an external wallet rather than their wallet. But remember, not your keys, not your crypto, right? You know this. And if they hold your money, it's their key in their wallet. And if something happens, like it has in the past with a hack or whatever they want to call it, your money is locked up. And you can't get it, and there is nothing you can do about it. I guess you could scream out at the sky or bang your head into a wall. You'd probably get better results with that than you would trying to contact them and finding out where's your money. So unless you're actually mining and then just grabbing your money out as soon as you can and keeping up with that daily or weekly or however often you're getting your payout, That's really what life is going to turn into for you, is you constantly chasing down your money, because that's a little scary. So if I did use Nicehash, and the other side to that is that a company like that, I don't want to give them my business. I really don't. But in the end, we do need to make a profit, and we're looking to make a profit. There's just so long that we can run our GPUs to help support networks before we really do need to see a little cheddar, and I'm really not interested in giving Nicehash my hash rate, and I just don't want to be a part of that. Unfortunately, I may have to dabble and put my toe in that pool to get through it. But in the end, I want to show you just one more chart off of this, is that this entire article is this guy getting you to sell your GPUs. That's it. Everything he's written in here, he has cherry picked. He's picked out the worst case scenarios. Even when he's tried to give you the best case scenario, he's still giving you a grim outlook, and he is wrong. He throws in some facts, so you almost can't dispute it or say, well, this isn't totally true. Then they can come back and say, but look at the numbers. You can't lie. Math is math. And that's true. But he's not giving you the full picture. So there's another channel that I want you to definitely check out for a spreadsheet, and that's going to be Seb's channel. If you haven't seen his channel, of course, I'm sure everybody has. He's really informative. He loves his spreadsheets, and so do I. He did a spreadsheet, and I went ahead and downloaded it. I'm going to put a link in the description to any of the pages I used, especially to this one here. I'm going to put a link to his video, and then from there, you can click in his description. You can click the spreadsheet that he has, to give full credit to him for what he's put on. Now, some of his things have changed. For let's see, for his numbers, the total hash rate, some of these have changed, some have gone up. So overall, we can get a larger picture. This video was made from him, and this spreadsheet was made about a month ago when people started to really talk about it more and more. And a lot of it is good to use as a placeholder, just to get a snapshot of where things are and going. But in here, he describes about where the prices are going to be and what your profits are going to be after the merge. And basically, when we scroll down, what we need to do is we need to look at these numbers. So when we look at these numbers in here, there's a lot going on in here, and I suggest you watch this video to really get the full idea of what every column is. I'm going to be going over a couple basic ones, but when we look at these things here, we can see where the profitability is right here. And here's your profitability right now. The way things stand, if it happened right now, this would be the profitability. So yeah, it does look grim, and you'd be like, wow, that article was right. What are you talking about? Well, what we really need to do is we need to scroll down here and look at a couple factors. First off, he did not give any points to ASIC miners going offline or switching to Ethereum Classic, and how much of the percentage are them. So he was going with basically grouping them in as a bunch, but that's completely different because they will be forced to mine Ethereum Classic only. So let's just remember that. They only can do the Ethereum Classic. They're going to be stuck there. And that sort of locks them into a little corner, and we can push them off to the side and just, forget about them. Unfortunately, Ethereum Classic, who knows what's going to happen to it? Is the price going to jump? Not financial advice. Do what's best for your pocket or pocketbook. But of course, I'm holding on to some Ethereum Classic, because once all of those ASICs jump over there, will Ethereum Classic, 2, 3, 5, 10, 100x? Who knows? I definitely think it'll, 3 or 4x. If you look at Ethereum, all-time high compared to today, it is down. I don't know if I don't have it in front of me, but it is a tremendous amount. Let us go back and look at that really quick. Let's hit max. And even if we just go in here from the year out, let's not go for the year out. What was that at? What was that? So now obviously you can't go by this because it was just for a brief moment in time, but that looks like it's about $130 or so. let's see, about a year, 167. But let's just say it was in here in the, $50 range, and it stuck around there. And we're right now at almost $17. So I could easily 3x to get back to what would be considered a middle of the road number. And that's 3x. So if it was to start really popping because, obviously it's popularity because of the ASIC mining, maybe pumps this price up, who knows where it would go. So again, not financial advice, but I'm throwing a couple in a bag somewhere, and, we're going to see what happens with that. Who knows? I obviously won't be hopping on that because I don't have an Ethereum miner ASIC. So that's that. But really what we have to look over here is we have to say that 40% of all of that is going to go away. So right now, if all of that went away today, there you go, and that would be your difference. Now let's go over here to, did I screw this up? I may have screwed something up that's causing this to not work for me now. Of course, I'm doing a video, so why would it work? Look, the bottom line is that with this chart, I'm going to leave it up to you. First off, you're going to watch the video because he's going to break down each of these lines. He's really going to show you exactly where all the numbers are being played from. But I'm going to say, let's just say that that's that 40% right there. I think it's a little bit higher. Let's just say 45. Now, here's the thing: is that as soon as Ethereum switches and we no longer can mine it, everybody's going to be trying to hop from coin to coin and trying to grab a piece of that market share. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to, because as soon as one of them spikes, profitability is going to go down. People are going to jump ship, and then it's going to come back down maybe, or it could take a little time for it to come back down. And the problem is that people will move so quickly from coin to coin to coin, but it's going to take a while for each one to drop back down to where it was, where then you say, okay, it's profitable again. So that's going to be causing a problem. But so many people are going to be jumping around that you're not going to know where to go. Like I said, it's going to be, someone's going to see how some other coin is profitable and they're going to jump, and then this person on this coin is going to be thinking that this coin's not as profitable because it's starting to get higher, so he's thinking I got to jump, and you're going to be crossing each other in the night. It's just going to be a little crazy where things are going to be. That in itself, I know it's a little sick, but it's going to be exciting to watch how this all plays out. But nonetheless, so within the first month, it's going to be the Wild West. We understand that. But after I'd say the first 2 weeks, I say we drop about 10% of the miners. I think they drop. I think they say, we're out. We're just not going to do it. These are the casual, ultra casual people, the gamers, things like this. I think that number is probably even higher. Let's say 15% of that. So I'll bring that to 60. Now we have to talk about a couple other miners. Now we're going to talk about the people that have a 6-card GPU rig. Somebody who was just getting into it, they got it started, and they're just not sure anymore. I think those are the people, and those are a large amount also. I think there's another 15% hidden out there like that. Because there's so many people that are the ultra casual, and then there's the people that were casual that then decided to buy another and then just a couple cards, and they've got a little rig somewhere with 4, 6, 8 cards, even a 6-card rig, and they're going to say, hey, it's not for me. It's not for me. So 60, we're going to go up 75%. Now you got 25% of the people left. Now you're talking about the people who have several gigahash. Now I'm in that category because I have a gigahash now. But I teeter on both sides of that as someone who's just getting into it, because I've only been doing this for just over a year. So I am a rookie in the grand scheme of things. But, when you talk about people like me, how long am I going to hold out for? Now me, through my income, I've been supporting a lot of the things that I'm running. So I will continue to do that, and I will run my rigs even if I am breaking even or even at a little bit of a loss. I'll continue to push through it and see where it all goes. So I'm going to push through. I think that first 2 weeks, we're going to see a whole bunch of those gamers log off. I think within 2-3 weeks after that, so now we're talking about a month and a week, a month and a half total time after the merge happens, I think you're going to lose the 6 GPU rig people that were going from casual and thought that this might be kind of fun, and they're going to have to start shutting down. So we're going to lose them. Then you're going to get into the people like me that has 1 gigahash. And to be honest, I think some of them, especially if they read that article, after I read that article, like I said, I took a pause. I started going through in my mind all the numbers, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I could get this much money for about a gigahash, you know, and then with the rig, and when I sell it as a whole thing, the tent and everything, and, you know, I really started panicking. And if more of these articles keep coming out, more and more people are going to panic, and they may jump the gun and sell when they don't necessarily need to. Now, again, not financial advice. Do what's best for your pocket or pocketbook. Sell everything if you have to. But if you don't, in my opinion, I'm going to do the best I can to hold on to as much as I can. So let's say out of those people, let's just say in the first month after that, let's say another 5% after that go. So now we're at 80%. Okay. So when this person is talking about how many people, here you go. So the price needs to 6x, and at the same time for 80% of GPUs to shut off. Yes, it will take probably about 2 months. And yes, they're not all technically turning off because they're ASICs moving to Ethereum Classic, but nonetheless, they are going to be forced into one corner and fight for that one coin. So let them all beat each other up over the head for something that's not Ethereum now, and they're going to be making a fraction of their money. Those miners, those that they bought for $12,000 and $15,000 and plus $20,000 when people are scalping these things and more. I think there was one out, a couple that were selling. Which one was that one? Was that different? That was the other, but like $30,000. I mean, really? You know, go nuts, guys. Buy them up. Do what you want. That's crazy talk. But, you know, when you're on Ethereum Classic, you're going to be punching yourself in the head because, well, because it's not going to be worth the time of day. The amount of effort you have to put into cooling an ASIC and the noise and the power, especially if you have several of them, the amount of infrastructure and money you have to invest into it to have something that big for ASICs that are that strong. I mean, I've spent quite a bit of money on Crazy Town, and I could just imagine going through and setting up like a container, a shipping container, and converting it or something. I mean, it'd be nuts. But in here we are. So he's saying 80% of the GPUs need to shut off. Well, as we're looking here in our chart, I think within the first 2 months, we are going to be at that 80% mark, or at least 80% off of the mainstream other coins that you and I are going to be on, because those other 40 or 45%, or maybe even more for all we know, are really going to be on Ethereum Classic. So we are at the 80%. So, okay, guy, we made it there. Now he's also saying that you have to 6x, okay? And that's down here. Now, I will say this. I think that all of these coins, they are going to X something, right? They are going to go up. Are they going to go up and stay there? Is this going to bring us out of a crypto winter? And I say that, you know, laughingly, because everyone throws that crypto winter. We are in a bear market. We're not in a complete bear market right now. We could be even worse off when you look at the trends year after year, and where we are now. It still has room to go down. Not a whole lot more before it's catastrophic, but a little bit more to consider it the true bear market. So we are still a little bit above that. But when we do look at some of those prices, like Ethereum and Bitcoin, and we see Ethereum down at what, $1,500? $1,436. I mean, my God, this is like a fire sale. I mean, Christ, this is a fire sale, down from $65,000. But again, not financial advice. I would not buy Ethereum. I think Ethereum is made the wrong move here, and we can make another video about that. If you want to see a video about that, my opinion about why Ethereum has truly made the wrong decision, and really go over where their flaws and where they're going to fall apart, leave that in the comments down below. I appreciate that. And of course, if you haven't given me a thumbs up yet, definitely hit me for a thumbs up on this one. It really helps the channel really quite a bit. And that whole YouTube algorithm thing that they got going on, you know, I act like I don't know what it means, but I actually do what it all means. And it really does mean a lot. So hit me a couple of those. I appreciate you. But the point is that I do believe that a lot of these numbers are going to go up. I mean, when we look at, say, like Ravencoin, for instance, and we check out Ravencoin, I'm just going to do this really quick. I'm going to wrap this up. But when we look at Ravencoin and we look at, let's go max out. You know, let's just go 1 year out. And we can see here, we were at 15.5 cents, you know, almost 16 cents. If we max out on Ravencoin, where's Ravencoin up here? 21. I can't really stop it at the peak. It's not letting me. It's going to make it. No. All right, 22, 25 cents, so be it. But even if it goes up to 15 cents, well, it's at 2 cents right now. So is that 7x? Would be 14 cents, 2.2 cents. So let's just say 7x would be around 15 cents. So again, Guy, let's talk about it. 80% needs to go offline and we need to 6x. We just saw that it could easily 7x, right? Could easily make that number. So we come over to here and we drop that in here, and let's just give them the 6x. We're not even going to go 7. Let's hop in over here. Okay, here they are here, because I didn't have any numbers down over there. So here we are, profit per day. This is it. This is with I think electric. This is your electric taken off. So you are still going to be making, this is with 130.70 in this scenario. Okay, there's one for a negative. That's Grin, so you're not going to really want to be doing Grin. Grin doesn't look like it's going to make it there. But we're making $1.50, $1.60. What else do we have in here? $1.57, $1.75. Who's that one? $1.75. We'll look out for you. Is that Did I get that? Yeah, Cortex. $1.75. $1.70 for Bitcash. 210. Who's 210? Who are you? Equilibria. Good for you. Looks like we're going to be mining Equilibria. But where's my Raven coin? Right here, number 5. Here we are here. So $1.32 a day, even with Raven coin. The idea is that this guy's doom and gloom. Well, here we are, and we just put the numbers in. Now, that's with 10-cent power cost. There's some people that have even cheaper. There's some people, and I am sorry to say that I hear about this in some questions that I get, about power costs. And some people have asked about that, what are ways to get the most efficient GPUs because of their power cost. And that's another video really we need to do, because with this coming, we are going to need to know more and more what are the best GPUs to use. So we will do a video on that eventually. I don't know when, but probably as we get a little bit closer. I do want to mention one more thing in here right now, is that when we look at the average block time, we do see that that bomb is going off, but EIP 5133 delaying difficulty bomb to mid-August 2022. So what they're going to do is they're going to roll back that difficulty bomb, so it's not going to go off as soon as it was going to. And what they're doing is they're going to stage it up, so it's going to go exponentially faster as it ramps up. It's sort of like that snowball effect. You take a snowball like this. That's probably not really a snowball. Snowball for me is like that big, so but maybe a snowball for you is like that big, and you take it and you roll it down a hill. Well, as it gathers more snow, it gets bigger and bigger, and the bigger it is, the more snow it picks up, and the more snow it picked up, the bigger it became, and the more snow it picks up because of that. And it's just like an exponential multiplier, and that's similar to what this is going to be. So this will still go off, this still will hit, but it's going to be mid-August. So what are we now? We are mid-June. So we have the June to July to August. So we have 2 full months. Today is the 12th, and this is going to go to, let's just say, the 12th or 15th. So we have 2 months exactly to mine the hell out of this thing before things go downhill. So this still will happen. This is not going to happen. Well, it might not happen. We'll see what happens with this. They just ran their latest test net. Overall, as far as it goes, successful with some problems, enough problems that they are delaying the difficulty bomb, so you can say that it wasn't successful. But the argument is that they are still continuing with the difficulty bomb, just at a slower rate, so you can say that it was successful. If it wasn't, they would have halted. But the only reason they've slowed this down is because of the pressure that it puts on the developers, and they're not going to do that, so that's why they're slowing it down. But believe me, folks, I know we've been talking about this for a while. Last year, probably this time, we were talking about this. We talked about it several times as it's come up. I think in January it was the big one because of the Raven coin happening and then Ethereum going away and what was going to happen. It was, really exciting to see what was going to go on, and then Ethereum didn't merge. It was pushed back, and now we're pushed back to here again. Don't hold your breath. Let's see if they get this done by the end of the year, because they have 2 more test nets to do. and then we'll see really where they end up. Anyway, y'all, that's it. I just really wanted to talk about this one. And like I said, bottom line with this, really the breakdown, the takeaway from this is that Bitpro is looking to buy your GPUs right here. They want you to sell your GPUs. Now, let me tell you, if crypto mining is in the toilet and it's dying, just like this person says, why are they buying your GPUs? Are they building a spaceship to nowhere? I don't know what they're going to be doing with them, but they seem to think that there's some sort of market out there for them, and they want to scoop them all up, make you feel bad, just like I felt bad after reading this. And after you read it and feel horrible, but don't, we can buy them from you. This is okay. Everything's okay. You know what? I'm not selling, especially to you. This is panic. This is sent out there into the world to get people to sell. And I believe me, I bet you a lot of people pushed that button and probably tried to find out about how the process is and maybe even sell because of the panic. And I think, again, not financial advice, but I think people like this did not need to really put that much fear out there. But you know what? He got paid to do his job, and he did it well. I will say there to wrap this whole thing up. There are some other points that he made that I did agree with. He did talk about how not enough people were talking about this, and really can't find where he was talking about that. It's in this bottom part. He talks about how says it was crickets, and the truth is, it was crickets. There were people, obviously bigger than me, that are out there that have 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 subscribers, and they should have been banging the drums. They should have been beating the pots and pans. They should have been, getting rowdy, and they should have gotten a lot of people rowdy and got a lot of people to stand up against this, because there were a lot of things that people could have done if we could have gotten more people to have joined together. And look, I'm guilty. Did I start an Eat movement? Did I start some sort of Facebook page to promote that? Did I start some sort of movement somewhere? No, I didn't. I just, I felt that I was a small piece, a small cog in a greater machine. And what was my voice worth? Well, you know what? I didn't speak up. You didn't speak up. None of us spoke up. The huge YouTube miners didn't speak up. And I don't blame any one person. I blame us all for not doing enough, but it's coming. It's coming, and it's going to happen, and we're going to hold on tight. But believe me, folks, like I've said before, I'm driving the bus and I'm going till the wheels fall off. And if you think I'm joking, I am not. I got those ASICs running downstairs. It's hot, and unfortunately I can't run them all the time, but I am running as many as I can without having too many overheating issues out there. And right now, those ASICs, negative 75 cents a day. Cost me what, 22 and change, $23, right? 7, 14, 21. Yeah, it's costing me an extra $20 a month. I'm losing to get this. I would be better off just buying the currency. Now, of course, Dogecoin's on the Ethereum chain, and that gas fees, you want to just punch yourself in the face when you use their network. So, that would probably cost even more. But nonetheless, I'm losing 75 cents a day, even having them running. When I'm running those Z11s, same thing. Really, I am losing 12 cents a day minimum. And that's the bare minimum, that you're losing 12 cents a day. So it's a tough market, but I'm keeping going. And you know what? These GPUs are still making a few bucks, and I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to stop. So people like this that write these insane articles, just slow down before you start freaking out, because these find out what they're really trying to persuade you to do. And like I said, in the end, all it comes down to, at this point, we are focused on assisting miners. You know what? I swear to God, the bullshit they put out, the BS they put out there, Unbelievable, unbelievable. So anyway, y'all, I know that you've seen a lot of videos out there talking about this. Didn't give a whole lot of really in depth about this. Like I said, I've read articles about this article, and nobody's really pointed out that this guy is wrong from the moment he pushed the first key on his keyboard. So be worried, but don't panic. All right. Listen, I appreciate y'all checking in. You know, I'm going to have the subscribe button right over there. You're definitely going to help the channel there. If you want to see one of my other videos, I'm going to have a link right up over there for you. So I have been around for a while. This past week, I had really been focused with work, and it has been crazy. But thank the Lord, I am no longer with them. I decided to move on because, well, we'll talk about that one in another video. I appreciate y'all checking in. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.